Now, I'm just looking up at some fight cards that's coming up at the end of this month, and I stumbled upon one that I didn't really notice before. Now, I knew Lucas Browne was fighting, but I kind of forgot exactly when, and it's going to be on Friday, the 28th of September, and this will be in Queensland, Australia. So this is Lucas Browne's return fight since he lost to Dillian Whyte, and he's going to be taking on Julius Long in a rematch, because Lucas Browne has already fought Julius Long and knocked him out. But I mean, we'll get into that in a minute. But the undercard, as Frank Warren says, it's not a bad little show, this one. And I'm saying that not because there's some standout names or anything like that, because, you know, I don't know who these people are, but they could be some people that could go on and become a Jeff Horn or a Lucas Browne or whoever it may be from a Costa Zoo. You know, you never know who these people are going to be, or even more. You really never know. So at the minute, it's too early for any of these guys to say. There is a debutant on the card in Brad Anderson, and he's going to be taking on a guy who's got 1 win, 1 loss in Casper Turner, and this will be a 4-rounder, and this will be at heavyweight as well. And I know heavyweight is pretty big, and especially in Australia, yeah, you know, they're kind of crying out for some kind of world domination. Of course, Lucas Browne, he was kind of like, he was world champion when he beat Chagayev, but ultimately got stripped of it because of the doping and plenty of other things that kind of went on. So he kind of like fell to the wayside a little bit, which for me was kind of unfair on him. But anyway, I mean, maybe this Brad Anderson could be the next big thing. You know what? You never know. I mean, I don't know anything about the lad, and this Casper Turner as well, 1 win, 1 loss. Listen, a loss doesn't define your career, and nor should it. Now, I know that we're in a day and age now where if somebody takes a loss, then they're almost thrown under the bus. They're automatically a journeyman from 1 loss. But if you look at all the greats over the years, they've all got a loss on their record, right? Or at least most of them. Another one on here will be Brett Jeffrey, 3 wins, 1 loss. And then again, this will be at heavyweight, and he's from the area of Queensland as well. So again, interesting. He doesn't have an opponent as of right now, but you know, it'll be interesting. And there's also a fighter on here called Deese McDonald. Now, he's currently 2-0, and he's fighting at super middleweight. Now, he's going to be taking on Luke Travers. Luke Travers has a record of 4 wins, 8 losses and a draw. But this will be for a title, which is the vacant Australia Queensland State super middleweight title. So obviously super middleweight, right? But again, you never know. Maybe this lad could be one of these kind of guys that would just pop up onto the scene one day out of nowhere, much like Jeff Horn did. I mean, not many people heard of Jeff Horn prior to him taking on Manny Pacquiao, right? So maybe this could be one of those lads. Hey, listen, maybe I'm reaching. Maybe it's going to be like, I know all these guys are going to turn out to be journeymen. We don't know, do we? But you know what? For those boxing purists who just love watching boxing events, I'll let you know about this one. Anyway, the main event, Lucas Browne. Obviously, like I said, his last fight was against Dillian Whyte. He came in, he looked a little bit podgy, that's for sure. He looked a little bit sluggish, but you know what? Dillian Whyte is so much better than what people give him credit for. He really is. And for me, Dillian Whyte's one of these kind of guys, doesn't matter what he does, there's always going to be a section of people who will just hate on him. And you know what? That's just how it is. But Dillian Whyte is a brutal, brutal fighter. And he caught Lucas Browne with a sweet left hook. Now, we've seen that very same left hook drop Joseph Parker. That same left hook wasn't connected properly, but he hit Joshua, and Joshua's feet turned to concrete. Okay, so it's no great surprise that Lucas Browne went down and out for the first time in his career. But anyway, this is a comeback fight. He was supposed to fight before. I forgot the guy's name, and to be honest, I couldn't even pronounce it, but he had like some insane dreadlocks on him, and he was pretty old. But Lucas Browne's going to be taking on America's Julius Long. 18 wins, 20 losses. At one time, Julius Long was looked on as, could he be the next big thing? Could he be? But with 20 losses on the record, probably not. And he's 40 years old, and he lives in New Zealand now anyway. And he's 7'1", so he's a big old lump. Now, I know a lot of guys who've been around boxing for a long time. You would know Julius Long, okay? You would know his name. You've seen some of the fighters that he's been in there with. He's always kind of fell short. He did win his last fight. He won it by a split decision over 10 rounds against Bowie Tupu, who had a record of 26 wins and 4 losses. But you know what? He has been losing to some lesser people. But he is a journeyman now. Now, he didn't start out in boxing to become a journeyman. It's just kind of happened. He had lost to Lucas Browne before, and Lucas Browne knocked him out in 9 rounds. And he lost to Izzy Ugonu before. He lost to Jonathan Banks. Of course, Jonathan Banks, if you've never seen him fight, he was formerly the trainer of Vladimir Klitschko, and previous to that, Dylan White as well. Julius Long's lost to Kevin Johnson. He's lost to Maurice Harris. Kelvin Price again. A lot of you guys know that. This is when Kelvin Price was 5-0 at the time. He lost to Mariusz Wach. Mariusz Wach stopped him in 7 rounds. He lost to Ray Austin, Alexander Ustinov, Oleander Solis as well, Samuel Peter. I mean, he's been in there with a lot of good fighters. Come up short each and every time, and I fully expect him to come up short against Lucas Browne again. And this is a fight where Lucas Browne, hopefully he's been training hard, hopefully he's been more committed, and hopefully that loss has turned his head, if you like, not literally of course, but turned it to the point where he needs to take this serious, as in stay in shape between camps. There's too many boxers that are doing the wrong thing in sparring, in training, all that kind of thing. And of course there are things that, or rumours were coming out of the gym when Lucas Browne came over to the UK right before the Dylan White fight, that he actually got dropped by Derek Chisora in sparring. Again, that's just rumours. I don't know if that's true, but anyway, I think a lot of it was down to the fact that he just wasn't in shape, even though he'd be posting pictures on social media, you know, posing, whatever, but in reality he was just holding his gut in. But hopefully now, and he does seem to have the bit between his teeth where he says that he actually wants to go on and prove himself now. This loss come at the right time for him, as in it screwed his head back on to say, listen, I need to take this serious, I need to start earning some money. And now he's been on the big stage. He's been in a headline event against Dylan White at the O2 Arena. So all he needs is another 2 or 3 wins, and he's right back in the mix. And ultimately, hopefully, a fight with Joseph Parker. That fight needs to happen before Lucas Browne sails off into the sunset. Because at some point he's going to, because Lucas Browne, he's no spring chicken now, is he? So, I mean, he's 39 years old, so he's probably got, about another 2 or 3 years left. Unless, of course, he wants to become a journeyman, or maybe he's going to improve with age. I mean, some fighters do. But anyway, just get that news out there for you all, that there is an event coming up on the 28th of September in Queensland, Australia. Just thought you'd all like to know. Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.